Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy II on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode, Rupes, Jarvis, Lily, Georgie, and Nell started going into the sealed cavern here where the last dark crystal is. As you can see off screen, I cleared out all these trapdoors. A lot of the trapdoors lead to empty rooms, which is kind of a bummer. But some of the rooms do have some treasure, so if it's your first time going through the game, you'll probably want to just defeat all the trapdoors because good experience, and you'll be able to get the treasure behind all of them. So, but if you're just there's maps available on game FAQs and a few other sites that can show you which doors are trapped and which ones have treasure. So, if you're not necessarily following along right away with this play, so. But this is a big door. The second one on the right is a good thing because we're going to get a light sword, which is a stronger holy sword for Rupes. So it just seems appropriate that Rupes gets his sword back now after using that ogre axe. You could give the ogre axe to Jarvis, but it only gives 3 more attack than the blizzard spear that he has currently. And remember, the blizzard spear, when you equip to the spear and you do the jump attack, it doubles your damage. So he wouldn't get the double damage with the axe. And you know, the +3 attack power isn't all that important. Plus, the spear counts as a projectile weapon, so it's in the arrow category. So it actually does like extra damage to the bats and the vamp ladies, even though they have they are weak to fire, not ice. It still do extra damage to them because it's considered a projectile arrow weapon, a spear, just like Nell's boomerang is. So there is one enemy in here that does have a weakness to ice. The Screamer monster, we'll encounter it a little bit later. So the spear is still good to exploit that elemental weakness. So, most, like I said, fire is the weakness that most enemies have in here. The bats and the vamp ladies have that. And like I said, the Screamer is weak to ice, but all the other enemies have no weaknesses, so. There's no ogre-type creatures here that have the creature-type weakness that the ogre axe would hurt them. So, yeah, no need to equip that axe on Jarvis. We'll just keep him with his spear. And I'm going to keep in the remaining trapdoors. There's not too many more left in the cave here. And I get lucky with one of the trapdoors because what ends up happening is the monster that appears, it isn't the Chimera monster, or the Manicle monster that appears, which is a palace off the Chimera monster, but a yellow dragon, and that's another monster that I'm going to have to encounter. It's kind of a rare monster later on, so it just saves me from having to encounter that monster in the Underworld. So basically all the areas that we've been to, like the Sylph Cave, outside the Land of the Summoned Monsters Cave, outside Tama, the village. The monsters are different than the ones that we encountered on the way to the Tower of Babil. So we have 4 new monsters meet there, and then there's 3 other monsters that are rare, that are only found on this one area, the 3-step peninsula. And one of them is the yellow dragon, so it's good that we managed to get it here as a summon. So, yeah, it's going to be tough hunting down one monster. There's a really rare monster in the Land of the Summoned Monsters. It's the rarest encounter in there, but the common encounter is a conjurer type enemy that summons monsters, and they have a chance to summon this other dragon monster, so. Luckily, we don't have to fight the trapdoor going back. That's like one of the only doors that isn't a trapdoor. That one that we just came out of, all to the left. These trapdoors really don't like Jarvis. They seem to target him the most out of all the characters. But, you know, it's okay, because I think I spoiled it last time. Jarvis is going to be leaving the party eventually. So, if he doesn't get revived, the experience will just be split amongst 4 characters. and not 5, so other characters will level a little bit better. And Jarvis will return again to our party, and like I said, characters who rejoin your party actually gain experience when they're out of your party. That's why, you know, people like Yang, Tella, when they rejoined the party, they were at a comparable level to what Rupes was, because they gained basically all the experience that Rupes gained. So, even though Jarvis will be leaving our party, he'll still get all the experience that all the characters get. And actually, probably, like I said, he'll get more, because rather than, we'll be running a party of 4 for a while. So, the experience that he would, is now going to be distributed amongst 4 characters instead of 5. And, he'll get that experience, so he'll get the same experience but amongst a low group of people, so it ends up being more for him. So, got these little ropes there. I think that's the first time I went down one. There's a few other type of ropes that that lead to nowhere. If you go on them, though, you'll just end up at the bottom of the rope, and then you'll climb back up. So, luckily you can't get into random encounters on the rope, so if you find yourself going on the wrong rope, it's okay, it's just gonna waste a few seconds, but these trapdoors, you get so tired of them. They make a return in the after years, so a lot of stuff in this game makes a return after years. Pretty much all the monsters do, all the dungeons make, you know, some are slightly changed. Characters come back, but there's also some new characters too. But in Rydia's tale, characters have individual tales, because the game was released as like a cell phone game. So it came out in installments, so like there's like a Nell based chapter, Jarvis chapter, Yang chapter, so, and then there's some new characters that get chapters. Prince Edward has his chapter too, some new characters, so yeah, like I said, I'll be playing that game probably in a few years, because I have just other games to go through. I kind of have a schedule, so yeah, I'm adhering to the schedule. So, but we'll eventually get to that game. So, like I said, first we have to finish this game off, though. So, and after this we get Final Fantasy V, the last 4-job fiesta. So it's the one that like I said, I picked out of a hat all the fiesta jobs, and this will be the last run, because it's 4 jobs every year, and there's 22 jobs in the base game, and one's like the mine, and the other one's just your base job, your freelancer job, and those don't really count, so, because they're not granted by any of the elemental crystals. You just start with the one, and you get the one really, really late. It's a shard of the water crystal, but you get it like much later. If you've watched any previous 4-job fiestas I did, you can see. So, this is the final trapdoor, and it has, like I said, it turns into the dragon monster, which is good, like I said, because we wanted to get that dragon monster. Otherwise, the only place to find that monster is in that 3-step peninsula. So it's good to get it right here. And actually, it's a rare encounter on that 3-step peninsula, so being able to luckily come here and get it was nice. So got a yellow D. So it's gonna hit us with thunder, but luckily we're a little bit better equipped to deal with thunder, because people have with the exception of Nell, everyone has some sort of diamond equipment to reduce thunder damage. Of course, Jarvis, there was weak hit points from that disrupt spell, but he couldn't survive that thunder, even with the equipment. So we'll just virus this guy up, finish him off. There's another one off in our bestiary. Now we step into here, and this is the crystal room. If we did that glitch that I did, that I showed off at the end when we first came to the Underworld, and used Georgie's warp spell to warp back into the chamber where the dark crystal that Golbez stole was, you wouldn't have to go through this dungeon. Basically, as soon as you enter the dungeon, you would get the cutscene that we'll see when we leave this dungeon. Yeah, we're going to have to walk out this dungeon, because warp and exit aren't going to work, because we have a special cutscene when we leave this dungeon. Like I get pretty lucky on the way out of this dungeon though. Don't get into many random encounters, so. But I do have to fight the boss. And this is like the first of the kind of timed bosses that the game has. And basically this evil wall comes out. And a lot of people say this is like one of the tougher bosses. And I guess it could be. Because if you don't defeat it in time, it basically goes across the screen and ends up crushing your characters. So you have to deal 28,000 hit points worth of damage to it before it decides to crush us. But we can get some of those, get some extra damage by berserking Rupes. Then we won't have to input any of his attacks, and he'll attack a little bit harder. He'll do more damage under the berserk status, and his turns will come up a little bit further, a little faster, I mean. So that's one thing you can do. You could also berserk Nell if you would like. I prefer to have Jarvis jump, because like I say, he does double damage, and yeah, it kind of takes 2 turns, so he may actually do more if he was berserked. But having him in the air reduces the chance of him like being a target, so he can avoid, you know, these hits that the evil wall is doing on characters. Georgie is going to put to use some of her elemental spells, level 3 that she finally got. So we got Fire 3 and we got Ice 3. Fire 3 did a little bit more damage, but this guy doesn't have any elemental weaknesses, so if any of the level 3 spells will do good damage to the evil wall. So here's a good reason why you may not have characters berserked, or leave at least one of your characters other than Nell and Lily unberserked, in case someone needs to heal and remove petrification. Because you can see one thing the evil wall does is sometimes it'll cast petrification, and it's actually the fast petrification. So other petrifications, like it takes like 5 turns for you to fully petrify. This one will only take like 3 turns. And because he hit Rupes with it twice, Rupes is in a lot of danger of just, you know, turning into a statue. And then we have to rebuff him all over again. But anyway, as Georgie said, we did it, and Nell basically said that's a pitiful trap. So, all right. Too bad we couldn't fight the 2 walls that the twins, Pal and Porum, basically turned themselves to stone to stop. So just beat them with our swords and our hammers, and they could have still been with us, but yeah, the game had to get them out of the party so we can have Sid join. Speaking of Sid, his role in the story is not yet done. He's gonna do another future upgrade to our airship. And that basically unlocks after this dungeon. Because we're going to have to return back to the surface. But before we return back to the surface, we still got a few other things we want to do, side quests in the Underworld. Remember when we were in the surface, and we had Sid's apprentices work on the airship back in Baron Castle. In the same Baron Castle, not far from where the assistants were, there was the King of Baron in the underground passage. And he was like, return here when you went to the land of summoned monsters. We haven't gone to the land of summoned monsters yet. We were told where it was, to the northwest of Tama, the dwarf village, there in the southwest of the world. So we'll be going there. Like I said, that's probably the weakest dungeon in terms of like enemies and strength. But it'll be okay because, like I said, Jarvis will be leaving our party soon, and when he does, we'll still be balanced for that cave because we'll have, rather than 4 members, and we'll have just rather than 5 members, we'll have 4. So it'll make it a little bit tougher. It'll make it, you know, but still doable. So here's these 2 doors I did off screen. I returned back because they were both empty, so there's no reason to go back and grab them. And same with that 1 treasure chest there. I just figured I'd get it on my way out of the cavern because I knew I'd have to return the long way, because we're about to get a cutscene here at the entrance. And it's a cutscene where we will unfortunately lose Jarvis. So if Jarvis has like special equipment, you might want to take it off him. You can take off all his equipment if you want to. I was just making sure he didn't have the strength ring, because Still want that the special ring. And Jarvis, return to me, Jarvis. Come to me with the crystal. Golbez. Jarvis? Get a hold of yourself. I'm alright. I'm no longer under his control. Uh-oh. Well, he thought he wasn't. But sadly, Golbez has somehow, once again, gotten mind control over Jarvis again. I've been waiting for this moment. Now the Tower of Babil can be reactivated. The way to the moon will open. Come, Jarvis. Come on, Jarvis, wake up. All the crystals are gathered now. The way to the moon will open. Wait. Jarvis has left the party. And we're going to leave this cave here. I'm going to fly right up to the Tower of Babil, which you can no longer enter, because just like Golbez said, the Tower of Babil is now activated. So if we fly up and look at it both in the surface and the underworld here, it's glowing, and you're prevented from entering it. So you can go through that entire cave of Eblan, but you try to go up the staircase where you went to the tower, and Nell used her ninja moves to go through the wall. Yeah, you just end there. You can't walk in there. It just leads to a dead end now. The stair leads to nowhere. So, but we still have things to do. Yeah, we should probably go talk with Sid and maybe try to find a way to get to the, the overworld again to see what we can do. But we still haven't finished all the side quests in this area, so this is the land of the summoned monsters. We'll be heading in here in our next episode, and then also we'll be heading, if we have enough time, over to the left. I'll show off that 3-step peninsula. So take care, have a good one, see you then. Bye.